So now that you have a very basic idea of HTML syntax and using tags and attributes, we're going to create an extremely simple web page, all right, just so we can get something up on our server or on our website. All right, so we need to use FileZilla for this because we need to upload files. All right, now in a couple videos ago, we logged into our account or our website through FileZilla, and if you've done that, then you probably have it will show up right here in your history, and you should just be able to click on that. It's going to ask for your password, but you can check this to remember the password if you want. Alright, so here's our website files. Basically, when we go to the URL, what we see is this default page. Alright, so let's go to the URL. Alright, so this is the default page. Now, what we want to do is create a file called index.html, and the reason we name it index is it's going to be our home page. It's going to be the page that loads when we go to the URL, okay, much like this default page is loading. Alright, if you don't name it index.html, then you'll have to specify the file name. For instance, if we create an about page, then our link is going to look something like this, /about.html. Alright, index, we don't need to write index.html, it just automatically shows up. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a new folder. Now you can create folders in FileZilla or directories, and I'm just going to call this folder orig, and I'm just going to put the files that HostGator puts on your website. I'm going to drag those, put them in there. Alright, so now since that default page is gone and we go ahead and reload, it's not going to, basically it's just showing an index of our directory. Alright, so this isn't good. You need to have an index page or something so that this doesn't show up. So let's create our first web page. Alright, so on the desktop I'm going to create a new text document, and we just want to rename this to index.html. Okay. Now on some systems, if you're on Windows, you might not be able to see this .html because it could by default hide file extensions. If that's the case and you can't see .html, what you need to do is just go into Windows Explorer. So just click on whatever, my computer or any any folder, and then go to Organize and then to Folder and Search options. Click on the View tab, and you want to make sure that this right here, this option, Hide Extensions for Known File Types, you want to uncheck that. Alright, if you have it checked, you just want to uncheck it and click Apply and OK. And then you should be able to see the extension, and you can name the extension whatever you want. In this case, it's going to be HTML. Alright, so let's open this up, but you don't want to open it up with your browser. You want to open it with a text editor. So I'm going to right click, and I'm going to click Edit with Notepad++. And this is a really nice and easy text editor to use. You can even use the standard Notepad that comes with Windows, but I would suggest downloading this. Just Google Notepad++ and it should show up, and you just download it and install it. Alright, so this is going to be our first HTML document. So there's a few things that you need in order to have a correct structure in an HTML document. The first thing is called the doc type, and that basically defines what type of document it is. Alright, so if you're using HTML, it's pretty easy. XHTML it has a more difficult doc type. I don't remember it. I would have to look it up, but we're going to use HTML5. So it's pretty easy. All we need is a less than sign and then an exclamation mark, and then we want to type in doc type. You can use lowercase, but it's kind of just a good practice to use uppercase. Alright, and then we want a space, and then we just want to put HTML and then a closing greater than sign. So that's the doc type for HTML5. Alright, so after that we need to have our HTML tags, and these will wrap the whole document. Alright, now inside of here we want to do a tab. Okay, so we're going to indent. Whenever you have something in between two tags like this, you want to indent. Alright, and just hit tab. And here what we want to do is add in our head tags. So head. Alright, so in this area, this is basically where you could put your keywords and SEO stuff. We're not going to put anything in here except for the title. Alright, so we need to do a title tag. Make sure that it's indented. Alright, and what this is, let's look at an example. This is a title, alright, that shows up in this tab of Google Chrome or whatever browser you're using. This is the title, alright, so we'll just make that, we'll say my first web page. Alright, so that's all we want in the head area. Next we want the body tags. And the reason we're not indenting these is because they're on the same level as the head tags. If this body, if this was inside here, then we would indent it, but it's not. So the body is basically just the web page. All right, so let's add a heading like we learned in the last section, and we'll just say welcome to my website. Okay, we want to close the heading tag, and the next thing we'll do, we'll just put a paragraph. So P, we'll say this is my first web page. Make sure you close the paragraph. Alright, so that's good. So let's save this. Alright, and now we're going to upload this to our website or to our web server. Just drag it right in. Alright, so now that's uploaded. So now if we go to our browser again and let's refresh our domain, now we have our website. So up here you can see it says my first web page. This is the title that we defined in the head area. Alright, and then this is what we put in the body, which is a heading and a paragraph. Okay, so that it's as easy as that to create a static website. You can add styling, and you can add forms, you can do all types of stuff. So the last thing I want to do in this video is I want to create a website navigation menu. Alright, and to do that we're going to use an unordered list. And let's see, I'm going to put the menu, let's see, let's put it above everything. It's not going to look very pretty right now, but later on we'll use some CSS to style it. Okay, so I'm going to put that in the body but above the heading. So we want to open up a UL tag and close it. So this tag stands for unordered list. You could also use OL tags, which is ordered list, and the difference is an ordered list will have numbers next to each item. An unordered list by default will have bullets, but we can remove those with CSS. So inside the UL tags we want to use an LI tag. Close that off. And this stands for list item, so every item will be wrapped in these tags. Alright, so we can say home, but if we leave it like this, it's not a link. The home is just going to be just text. We want it to be a link, so we need to wrap it in an A tag. So A, and then we're going to use the href attribute, and that's going to, let me just close this off. Okay, so this href attribute is gonna have the web page that we want to go to, and home is actually going to be this page. So we're just going to say index.html. All right, so now let's just copy this for the rest of our links. All right, so the next link will be to our about page. All right, so we're going to say about, and when we create that page, we're going to call it about.html. And we'll also have a services page, which will be services.html. And then finally we're going to have a contact page, which we will call contact.html. Alright, so there's our menu. Let's save this and then upload it. And since we already have index.html on the server, it's going to ask us if we want to overwrite. I'm going to choose this always use this action and then hit OK. Alright, so now if we reload this, now we have our navigation menu. And it's not going to work if we click on About. It's going to look for about.html, which we don't have on our server. So it gives us this error page, which was created by HostGator. Alright, so that's really it. In the next video, we will add these other pages. We'll add a little bit more content, and then after that, we can look into styling it with CSS.